You spend roughly a third of your entire life asleep. Think about that for a second. A third. If you live to 90, about 30 of those years were spent horizontal with your eyes closed. And for most of that time, you had absolutely no idea what was happening inside your own head. You thought nothing was happening. You were just off, lights out, gone. You were wrong. Every single night, your brain runs one of the most complex and carefully choreographed processes in all of biology. It cycles through distinct stages, each one doing something completely different, each one more strange than the last. And if you skip any of them, even accidentally, your body will make you pay for it in ways you won't immediately connect back to sleep. So let's go through it. Stage by stage. All the way down, stage one, the edge. You're lying in bed, the lights are off, you're not asleep yet, but you're not really awake either. You exist in this weird in-between place where thoughts start getting a little loose and disconnected. You might be thinking about your day, and then suddenly you're thinking about something completely unrelated and you have no idea how you got there. That's stage one. The threshold, the doorway, your muscles start to relax. Your heart rate drops slightly. Your breathing slows. Your brain shifts from the busy alert brain waves it runs during the day to slower, more relaxed ones. Technically, you're asleep, but wake someone up at this point and they'll swear they were completely awake the whole time. This stage lasts somewhere between 1 and 7 minutes. It's basically just your body filing its paperwork before the real process begins. And then it happens. You're drifting off, muscles going soft, brain starting to let go, when suddenly your entire body jerks like you just got electrocuted. Your heart spikes. You gasp. You're wide awake again, slightly confused, probably embarrassed even though nobody saw it. That's called a hypnic jerk, and it happens because your brain genuinely panicked. As your muscles go limp during the transition into sleep, your brain occasionally misreads the signal. Instead of understanding that you're falling asleep, it interprets the sudden loss of muscle tension as you literally falling. So it fires an emergency wake-up signal to grab onto something. Your body lurches, you startle awake, your brain, the most sophisticated organ on Earth, got scared of itself going to sleep. This happens to about 70% of people. It's completely normal. It's also a little bit humiliating when you think about it. Stage 2. The descent. Now you're properly asleep. Stage 2 is where you spend the most total time across the night, and on the surface it sounds like the boring one. Light sleep. Not much happening, except something very specific is happening, and scientists find it genuinely fascinating. Your brain starts producing these sudden short bursts of electrical activity called sleep spindles. They last about half a second to 2 seconds each, they spike and fade, and they repeat throughout this stage. Nobody fully agrees on exactly what they do, but the leading theory is that they act like a noise-canceling system. They help your brain block out external sounds and disturbances so you stay asleep. The more sleep spindles you produce, the harder it is for outside noise to wake you up. Your body temperature drops. Your heart rate slows further. Your brain is essentially pulling up the drawbridge and closing itself off from the outside world. There's also something called a K complex, which sounds like a villain in a movie, but is actually just a large, slow brainwave that appears to help protect sleep and may play a role in consolidating memories. Your brain is already doing paperwork while you sleep, quietly filing the day's events into longer-term storage. You're not dreaming yet. You're not in the deep end yet. But your brain is already busy doing things you never asked it to do. Stage 3. The deep. This is the one that actually keeps you alive. Stage 3 is deep sleep. Slow wave sleep. The stage where your brain produces long, slow, rolling brainwaves, and your body goes into its most intensive repair mode of the entire day. Try to wake someone up from stage 3, and you will have a very bad time. They won't respond to noise. You might have to physically shake them. And when they do eventually open their eyes, they'll be completely disoriented, confused about where they are, what time it is, what year it is. That grogginess has a name. Sleep inertia. It's what happens when the brain gets yanked out of its deepest operating mode before it was ready. Here's what's actually going on during this stage. Your pituitary gland releases the majority of your daily growth hormone while you're in deep sleep. Not just for growing taller when you're young. Growth hormone in adults handles tissue repair, muscle recovery, and cellular maintenance. If you train at the gym and you're skimping on sleep, this is exactly where your gains are going. They're not going anywhere good. Your immune system runs its biggest repair shift here. White blood cells are more active. Inflammation gets managed. Your body patches things up. Your brain does something remarkable too. It activates what researchers call the glymphatic system, essentially a waste clearance process where cerebrospinal fluid flushes through the brain and rinses out metabolic waste products that built up during the day, including proteins linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your brain literally cleans itself while you sleep, and it does most of that cleaning right here in stage 3. And here's the unsettling part. This is also the stage where sleepwalking happens, where people have full conversations they don't remember, where some people get up, walk to the kitchen, cook themselves food, and wake up with no memory of any of it. The body can do quite a lot while the mind is completely offline. Deep sleep is not nothing. Deep sleep is arguably the most important maintenance window your biology has. And the people who say they'll sleep when they're dead are accidentally describing what happens when you don't. Stage 4, REM, the strange part. Here we go. REM stands for rapid eye movement, named for the fact that behind your closed eyelids, your eyes are darting around like you're watching a very intense tennis match. Nobody is completely sure why. Your brain at this point is more electrically active than when you're fully awake. On a brain scan, REM sleep and being conscious look almost identical. Your brain is running at full capacity. It's generating imagery, narrative, emotion, sound. It is building an entire world from nothing and then putting you inside it. You call it dreaming. Your brain calls it Tuesday. Now here's the part that should make you slightly uncomfortable. While all of this is happening, while your brain is firing on all cylinders and creating a fully immersive experience, your body is deliberately paralyzed. Not accidentally, deliberately. A region of your brainstem actively blocks motor signals from reaching your muscles during REM. Your arms, legs, and torso are essentially switched off. The theory is that this stops you from physically acting out your dreams, which is a very reasonable precaution given what some people dream about. When this system glitches and the paralysis kicks in before you're fully asleep, or lingers after you wake up, that's sleep paralysis. You're conscious, you can't move, and your brain is often still generating dreamlike imagery that gets layered onto the real room around you. That's where the shadow figures and the feeling of a presence sitting on your chest come from. Your brain is hallucinating. You're awake. And you can't move. It's terrifying. It's also completely harmless, which is a sentence that does not make it better in the moment. REM is also where emotional processing happens. Your brain replays memories and emotional experiences from the day, but without the stress hormones that were present when the events actually happened. It's thought that this process helps take the emotional sting out of difficult memories over time. Some researchers describe REM sleep as overnight therapy, the kind you don't have to schedule and it doesn't cost anything. The cycle. The part nobody talks about. Here's where it gets really interesting, and where most sleep content completely drops the ball. These stages don't just happen once. Your brain cycles through all of them roughly every 90 minutes across the entire night. A full night of sleep contains 4 to 6 of these cycles. And the mix is not the same each time. Early in the night, your cycles are dominated by deep sleep. Stage 3 gets the most time. Your body is prioritizing physical repair. As the night goes on, the balance shifts. Later cycles have less deep sleep and significantly more REM. By the early morning hours, you might be spending almost the entire 90-minute cycle in REM, barely dipping into deep sleep at all. This is why what you cut matters as much as how much you cut. If you sleep 6 hours instead of 8, you're not just losing 2 hours of random sleep equally distributed. You're disproportionately cutting the end of the night, which is the REM-heavy part. You might keep most of your deep sleep, but lose a huge chunk of your emotional processing, memory consolidation, and creative thinking. You wake up feeling okay physically, but foggy, irritable, and emotionally flat. And you blame it on needing coffee, not on the fact that your brain never finished what it was doing. Every single night your brain runs this process, whether you appreciate it or not. It repairs your body. It cleans itself. It processes your emotions. It consolidates what you learned. It builds the version of you that wakes up tomorrow, and you just lie there and let it happen, completely unconscious, drooling slightly into a pillow. Honestly, fair deal. If this one hit differently than you expected, the like button is right there, and subscribing costs you nothing except the 30 seconds of REM your brain will definitely use to dream about it tonight. Drop in the comments what stage surprised you most. See you next time.